can also pretty easily knock out Zoroark. So we'll see which of these players is able to get up and running more quickly. Both of these players sitting at 5-0-1, meaning they are just one win away from getting a berth into day 2.
This is a very interesting matchup because, as you said, Chip, both of these decks want to get set up. These are just kind of two engines that are going to go head-to-head, see which one can jump out and get that big advantage in the early game, try to snowball it. And Hisuian Zoroark, we've seen historically, is not as popular because there's so many moving parts that have to come together in order for it to work out. Kevin Kenny at 5-0-1, however, seems to have found not only the finesse to play it correctly, but also the recipe, perhaps, to make this a little bit more consistent to keep that Hisuian Zoroark threatening the opponent.
Yeah, Kevin is, with 2 double turbos prized and 2 Zorks.
Oh,
3 double turbos prized on Kevin Kinney's side. That is really not what you want to see. Kevin is playing a bunch of other energies, though. He's got the 1 more double turbo. He's got 2 basic fighting energies and a gift energy. So while that is really tough and annoying to deal with, there will still at least be an option to attach over the course of 2 turns in order to start pulling off attacks with your Zoroark V-Stars, but man, those are rough prizes from Kevin Kinney.
And when you have a deck that's so reliant on very specific things falling into place, you're even more susceptible to these just completely nutty prizes. But as we jump in, Kevin is able to start off with the Hisuian Decidueye V in the active. So this is another attacker. Hopefully he can pivot to maybe put in some work before Ryan Harris gets too far out ahead. Yeah,
the Hisuian Decidueye V, not probably something Kevin would love to start in this matchup. It's really not the strongest of attackers, mostly here for that close quarters shooting attack, dealing 100 damage and not affected by effects. So hitting through the Miltank, which traditionally Zoroark doesn't have a great answer up against. So that was the reason for playing the card this weekend. So if Kevin has hit any Miltanks, I'm sure he had a pretty reasonable time against them, being able to hit for weakness and take them out in just 1 shot. I'll take a moment now to check the prize cards, though.
He's getting the bad news here, Chip. But I'm actually eyeballing this Mountain Hunt as well. Search your deck for the 2 cards. 1 fighting energy, get a Starbirth.
Yeah, it can be a decent little setup attack in the right situation. It's going to be hard to weave it in, I think, whenever your energies are going to be so much more valuable than normal because you have to rely on attaching 2 energies to start attacking unless you can find your 1 single copy of Double Turbo.
3 double turbos in the, oh my goodness, in the prize is going to be so terrible for Kevin to get off of the ground. Maybe Ryan Harris will dangle a Cramorant or a Comfy where Kevin can take that knockout, hopefully get that double turbo and keep the engine running. When your prizes are bad, if you can get an early knockout, it's like night and day sometimes to get that key card out of the prizes and keep your attacks coming down.
And Kevin is setting up pretty nicely here, able to Ultra Ball, grabbing out the Gengar, then quick balls it away right away. That Gengar, such a key part of this deck with its Netherworld Gate ability, allowing you to place it directly onto your bench. No need for Ghastly or Haunter here, and then putting 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. So that way you can boost the damage output of your Hisuian Zoroark V-Star.
Yeah, now that attack only works when multiple Pokemon are damaged. We can move those counters around with the damage pump.
Yes, but so many ways to do it.
And this is a very weird list where you have to plan so far ahead. Fortunately, the Hisuian Zoroark Vs are hitting the bench, and then a Crobat V. Love that new full art that we've got.
Yeah, from the Trainer Gallery of the Lost Origin expansion. Able to fill the hand up to 6. Was not able to find a Gape Jaw Bog before putting these Pokemon down. Does draw into it now and will put it into play. This is a super important card for this deck because your Zoroark V-Star's damage output is dependent on how many damage counters are in play. So,
ooh, I love the
Rangaroo
have damage counters on there from the Bog. Can now see 1 more card from the top of the deck. And with the Gengar now being brought back from the discard pile, we have some more damage counters available to start moving around with the damage pump. Here it is. Damage pump number 1. Going to take 2 damage counters off of the Gengar and place 1 and 1. A beautiful, ever so slightly damaged bench. And now we just need the Zoroark V-Star to come through. Again, 2 of them in the prizes.
Yeah, 2 in the prizes and all the energies. And if Kevin was unable to find an energy this turn, he's going to have to find one copy of Double Turbo next turn in order to pull off an attack, and he's not able to get an energy attachment. So if he had been able to find a basic fighting or the one gift energy that he plays, that would have been a great thing to get things moving to set up for an attack next turn. But now he's just hoping to find that one single copy remaining in the deck.
I know everything besides the prizes. Like
yes.
with prize
this
vision,
setup's insane.
Yeah, this setup is ridiculous. Like if you don't know that the prizes are just not working for Kevin at all. Ryan Harris, meanwhile, enjoying the benefits of Battle VIP Pass. Just going to look at the hand real quick. Probably going to get a couple comfies here.
You could grab the Radiant Greninja as well if he's already got energy cards. Would love to start using that concealed cards
there it
to
is.
see as many new cards in your hand as possible.
But now with, again, a Comfy being put into play, Kevin does have a target to hopefully jailbreak a Double Turbo Energy or the Hisuian Zoroark V. Just waiting patiently for his turn. Knows that there's going to be a lot of shenanigans going on Ryan's side, having the, the flower selecting, switching, scoop up net, etc. We love it. We've seen people sequence through this so much. Here's the first switch, Comfy into flower selecting number 1. Bit of a hard choice here.
Yeah, can lose the Drapion, I think, pretty freely. Not going up against Mew, so...
Yeah, when I saw the Mirage Gate, I was like, oh, you really want to hold on to that, but fortunately draws into a weaker card to make that choice a bit easier.
Absolutely. One card in the Lost Zone now. Needs to find a way to get 3 more down if he wants to attack with the Cramorant this turn. See if he has maybe access to Lumineon or something like that. There is an Ultra Ball in the hand.
All right, so we've got concealed cards with the Radiant Greninja.
Ultra Ball can fetch the Lumineon. Then this can grab the Colress's Experiment, which is just one of the most important cards in the deck, if not the most important card in the deck. It's probably a toss-up between Comfy and Colress as for which one is more valuable. Just the way to get cards into your Lost Zone and also see you more combo pieces to work with.
Oh, yeah, and then has to put some damage down because of the Gape Jaw
right,
Bog.
yep.
Good catch there, good catch there.
It does work both ways. Stadium cards apply to both players in the Pokemon TCG.
Yeah, when you know that Kevin's deck is much more reliant on it, you've got your eye down. But when it comes to Ryan, benching these Pokemon, we have to keep those damage counters flowing. But here it is, Lumineon finding the Colress. 5 cards being offered. 3 will go to the hand, the other 2 to the Lost Zone. That'll be 3 out of 4 for this Cramorant.
And I do think I see a Battle VIP pass there in the hand. Ryan does already have a decent amount of Pokemon down. Which does he want more, the VIP pass to get Pokemon or the escape rope for a switch option? It looks like he wants that VIP pass. The one turn he can play it, definitely want to grab that card.
Yeah, we can try to get a couple more Comfies in play, start having them work in tandem because, this is only step 1, getting the Cramorant online, but now we have to keep going further and further to hit that 7, hit that 10 for the Mirage Gate and the Requiem.
So Ryan is not choosing to put down a Giratina V. He does have one in the hand, but maybe he is going for a strategy of not putting a bunch of Giratinas down and trying to lean onto his one prize attackers as options more so.
And because the VIP pass puts the Comfy directly from the deck into play, it doesn't take the damage from the Gape Jaw Bog.
That's right, yes. That is the 4th card into the Lost Zone now, so Ryan can attach an energy to this Comfy and retreat it into the Greninja. Looks like he will just bench the Giratina V, so does still want to use that attacker at some point, which is, I think, wise. And now retreating into that Cramorant, which will spit innocently upon this Decidueye, throwing some damage into play for free, not having to have any energy cards attached thanks to that Lost Provisions ability.
Yeah, the Cramorant really ties this engine all together, having this early aggression, just sending out this damage, setting up for, early 1 or 2 prizes is fantastic for, just paving a way for Giratina V-Star and that Star Requiem to get the final 2 or 3 prizes you might need. But back over to Kevin, we've got the Evolution Incense. This can find that Zoroark V-Star with all these damaged Pokemon on the bench. We can start maybe wailing down, start taking some prizes before Ryan gets fully set up. We've only got Giratina V in play, no energy attached to it, only 4 cards in the Lost Zone, no threat of Mirage Gate just yet.
I think Kevin's ideal turn here would involve Boss's Orders, KO the Giratina V, but that is a massive ask when you have 3 double turbos in the prizes, and you're most likely, in order to hit those double turbos, are probably going to have to play a draw supporter, which means that you can't utilize boss. Now, let's not forget Zoroark V-Star, in addition to doing a ton of damage, has the excellent Phantom Star V-Star power, so that is a way that Kevin could try to draw some cards and maybe hit the boss plus the double turbo. Let's see what he goes for.
Depending on what the rest of the hand is looking like, Kevin might be very upset about having to discard about discarding his hand. But at the end of the day, when you know how snowbally this matchup can be in one way or the other, especially seeing Ryan's powerful setup, I think you've got to go for it. Marnie's going to be the first step, though.
Yep,
so no boss here.
Just going for the slower, more consistent setup route, which I think is quite fair and definitely more reasonable. Seeing 5 cards is still pretty good, and you still have that V-Star power available.
We did see a couple air balloons, though. Maybe get this Decidueye out of the active spot.
Yeah, that's a good way to move it. It does have 2 retreat. We also see the basic fighting energy. I wonder if Kevin has made note of how many energies are in his prize cards. Did he check for the double turbos? I don't think it's something you always think to check for right away, because you assume, yeah, I'll at least have a couple, even if I prize 1 or 2. Like, that's manageable. But I prized 3 in this spot. That is
very rare. Very rare to hit that. Kevin maybe now finally recognizing that, you know, these odds are a little bit odd. What's going on here?
And is not going to put the fighting energy in play before using this V-Star power. Hoping to find the double turbo. Let's see if he can get it and get off an attack here.
So many cards seen this turn. There it is. He finds the double turbo.
The 1 double turbo energy remaining in his deck. He did see a lot of cards, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just feels really nice that you're finally able to get that 1 copy.
Yeah, especially when you understand how much is riding on this turn. We know that this is Zooey and Zoroark. The entire game has to put their hopes and dreams on the back of this Pokemon right now. We've got a damage pump as well to get more damage counters on that undamaged V-Star.
Yep, moves 1 to the Gengar as well. Just moving them both off the Decidueye is pretty smart.
Yeah, it still counts as a bit of a heal as well. So Cramorant is going to be able to take that knockout.
Yep, yeah, takes it out of range. So really good decision from Kevin's side of the field. And
Ticking Curse, as we see there, 50 for each Pokemon. It's not just on the bench, so it does count your active.
Yes.
Hitting those really important numbers there, up to 300.
Now, the big question for me here, Skarzig, does Kevin take a double turbo energy off the prizes?
He's got the 50-50.
Oh,
did
he
get
take
double
one?
turbo
okay,
or another V-Star?
He took the double turbo, so he'll have a response at least next turn. So while Kevin Kinney does take the first KO, if Ryan Harris can piece together a 1-hit knockout with Giratina V-Star, I mean, this game is definitely something that can go back and forth. And there is a chance that it comes down to who takes the first V-Star knockout and is able to chain together attack after attack.
Being able to have part of your deck rely on these single prize Pokemon that, you know, are meant to come in, do their damage, get knocked out. Ryan Harris, it doesn't feel like he's fallen too far behind. Just, you know, 1 Cramorant is down. This is allowing you to get the free promotion on the Comfy and now get this engine back online. We're going to see 6 cards now going into the Lost Zone after this next flower selecting. We just need another Colress, and then the Mirage Gate is online.
And Mirage Gate does get sent to the Lost Zone. Ryan had to choose between that and the
grass energy,
and he's already got 1 grass energy in the discard pile and only plays 3 copies of it. So I think that's why he was having a hard time kind of figuring out exactly what he wanted to do there.
That is one of the hardest things I think about working with the Lost Box, is because of the way your energy costs all work together. Giratina, you need to have that psychic energy and the grass energy. You want some water energy in there to maybe start threatening Moonlit Shuriken, and you have to be able to read and commit to which Pokemon and which attacks you're going to be relying on and know how many energy you can your threat. Realistically send to the Lost Zone while maintaining your threat.
So Capture Energy will get another Giratina into play, and once again it goes straight to the bench, so it does not need to take any damage from the Gapejaw Bog. So Ryan is not going to be getting a KO this turn. He had Escape Rope in hand and also has a Comfy. Choosing not to go with that route, doesn't want to, you know, maybe give Kevin a free send-up. You know, if you're taking a knockout, you want it to be into this Zoroark, so it will just be a pass And boss's orders, that is huge on Kevin's side, bringing up this Giratina.
The Giratina V-Star also has an energy attached to it. We're one card in the lost zone away from turning on that Mirage Gate, so getting this attacker out of the way is going to let Kevin jump out ahead of this game. And by taking these early prizes like we talked about, Chip, it really course corrects how awkward the early setup was, now finding these double turbo energies to keep the chain of Zoroark V-Stars in that ticking curse coming every single turn.
Yeah, I think his 2 prizes were Zoroark V-Star and Double Turbo Energy, which, if you ask me, that's pretty good.
And as we go back over to Ryan Harris, here's the flower selecting. This is going to be card number 7.
And it starts with the Roxanne,
Oh,
actually.
I didn't see. Roxanne, okay.
Yeah, it does play it pretty quickly down now that Kevin has taken 3 prize cards. Both players will shuffle those hands in. Ryan getting 6, so making it a pretty solid draw supporter, but it also disrupts Kevin heavily, who does not have anything like Bibarel in his list. Going to be relying on a Rangaroo to see additional cards after only getting 2 from the Roxanne.
I know, and just got that V-Star in the hand and the double turbo energy, and it goes right back into the deck.
It's a big opening for Ryan. Ryan needs to piece together a KO this turn. He needs to find the way to get 1 more card in the lost zone. We've got that through the active Comfy. He needs to find the Mirage Gates, the V-Star, all of the pieces. That's step 1 of the puzzle.
All right, V-Star, Ordinary Rod. We've got to scoop up net for this Comfy to get it out of the active.
I think he needs a Mirage Gate here. That's one of the main things he's looking for. There's a Colress. We're down now at that magic 7 mark. I think he's got to scoop up net to utilize the other Comfy here.
Maybe, are we going to discard the Grass Energy?
Oh, yeah, has not even used concealed cards. Yeah, I think he's holding off because he wants to potentially attach it. So,
and these Comfies, yeah, with the flower selecting, they can keep finding switches and things to keep cycling them over and over. Battle VIP Pass, making these choices very easy for Ryan. 8 cards now in the lost zone.
I don't think he got a Mirage Gate, though.
Yeah, just goes for the manual attachment.
Ooh, this is an interesting card he has in the deck, the Temple of Sinnoh. Turning
oh
off
my
the
goodness.
Special energy of all Pokemon. They do still provide 1 colorless, but if Kevin doesn't have a response stadium, he needs to find another energy to put on this Zoroark because it's only providing 1 energy.
Okay,
but
Bog comes through.
There we go. Get that Temple out of here. I'm still swinging with my Zoroark.
Yeah, that was very close. We've seen Temple of Sinnoh really, really punish a lot of decks in the past. And Primate Wisdom going to put 1 card on top. See 1 more from the top. Is it
a supporter?
Energy?
A gift energy is actually a pretty nice grab because now if this active goes down, Ryan would activate that, and that would give Kevin a little bit of draw power. Now, actually,
all the way back up to 7, yeah.
I think Gift Energy actually only activates, though, if you get knocked out by damage from an attack, which is really interesting because Star Requiem doesn't do damage. It just knocks the Pokemon out. So
yeah, we've seen a lot of interesting edge interactions with, you know, the Pokemon sidestepping the Gapejaw Bog, and now Ryan with the chance to maybe sidestep the Gift Energy.
Yeah, needs 1 more card in the Lost Zone to pull that play off. He's sitting at 9 right now.
1 more to activate the Lost Requiem.
Yeah, and Gift Energy, sure enough, says attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack. So even though the Zoroark would be knocked out, it is not by damage. It is by the effect.
And Ryan giving Kevin a taste of his own medicine here.
Ooh, I think Ryan maybe played this boss a little preemptively or something like that.
Yeah, because the Roxanne was last turn.
Yeah.
So the boss is legal.
Yeah, I think, I'm not exactly sure what the question was. Maybe Ryan was wanting to not play the boss. He has Colress in hand as well, but did go with the boss's order, so that gets brought up. And I think that might be what the situation was. Ryan sees that he can't quite close this one out. A little bit of a slow start. Couldn't quite pull off the Giratina attack, and he'll lose this first one. Kevin taking the win with Hisuian Zoroark V-Star.
Yeah, I mean, after that awkward start with the prize double turbos, it looked like it was going to be really bad news, but fortunately Kevin was able to pull everything together right before Ryan Harris popped off with that Mirage Gate into the Star Requiem.
Players will now shuffle up as we're getting ready for game number 2. Ryan just really never got up and running, it feels like. We never saw an attack in that game besides the Spit Innocently from the Cramorant. Wasn't able to get to that Mirage Gate on the second turn of the game, and Kevin just hit that double turbo energy needed, found the boss's orders as well to target down Giratina after Ryan misses the KO. If Ryan finds the KO on the turn with the Mirage Gate and is able to KO the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, this game would be potentially totally different, and we might be talking about Kevin needing to prep differently going into game number 2. But as it stands, Kevin is ahead right now. Of course, a win for either of these players here puts them to the magic 19 match points number, which is what you need to make day 2 at these tournaments.
A lot on the line for both of these players. Kevin now within striking distance of cleaning this up in a 2-0. And Ryan, we can see with this Lost Fox deck, right? The Comfies are doing their thing. It's very consistent with what it wants to do. It's just the speed at which it does it. The trick is for the Cramorants, 1 or 2 of those to come through in the early turns and run a lot of interference against your opponent. When your opponent is setting up, they might need to take a turn off to answer the Cramorant, to respond, just so that you don't get so many free attacks while they're completing their setup. But Kevin beautifully demonstrated that Hisuian Zoroark can get established before the Cramorant really becomes an issue, and then the V-Star just starts raining havoc.
So as we're preparing here for this next game, it's great to see Hisuian Zoroark doing well. I know that's a deck that a lot of players are a big fan of. Of course, one did make top 8 in Peoria, kind of as a surprise, I would say, by most players. I think people knew that it would be a deck that was played, but didn't expect it to have the most success. The fact that it made a top 8 finish in Peoria definitely put it much more on players' radars, and we're seeing a lot more of it this weekend here in Salt Lake City.
Kevin has shown what the deck is capable of, but once more, a lot of things still need to line up. You need the Hisuian Zoroark, you need the Gapejaw Bog, Gengar, super important for getting that early acceleration of damage counters, because, you know, if Cramorant comes through, strikes something but gets the knockout, those damage counters just go away. You don't get to use your damage pumps to spread them around. Unfortunately, the Hisuian Decidueye V was kind of able to hold the fort there in the active.
So I got a little bit of a peek at these opening hands. Things look pretty decent over on Kevin Kinney's side, but for Ryan Harris, it was looking a little rough. He started the Radiant Greninja, which is good, and he's got energy in hand, but I think a little too much energy. See if he can get things going a little bit. Yeah, 4 energy cards in this opening hand. Starting with the concealed cards right away into 2 VIP pass, and has another one as well.
Now the setup is complete. One of the 2 Cramorant is also in the prizes, but the Battle VIP pass is going to let you work around that very easily. Get the Comfy and the... Well, here it is. Just all 3 of them played out, 3 of a kind. Time to search and fill up this bench. What's the spread? 2 Comfy, a Cramorant, 2 Giratina, or are we just going 4 Comfy here?
I don't think we're quite going to go for the 4 Comfy. That 1 Cramorant is in the hand, so that makes things a little awkward. If you want to utilize that, you probably actually only get 4 Pokemon here, unless you're trying to work in some scoop-up nets.
Oh, the Oranguru?
But it will actually just be the Guru, the double Tina, and the double Comfy. And Ryan's sitting with an air balloon in hand, so that can move this Greninja out of the active. And what looked like a pretty weak start has turned into a pretty good one.
And the 1 air balloon as well means that, you know, normally you like to attach this to your Oranguru because you can scoop up the Greninja and recycle that ability. So it might be a little bit awkward later on, but with an effect that is this strong, with a setup this good, I don't think you're fine to give up that air balloon. What are we seeing here?
I think Ryan was going quickly with his flower selecting and accidentally picked up the 2nd card there or the 3rd card on top of the deck and maybe got a peek of it. And
did we get a shuffle as well after the VIP passes?
Yeah, we did get a shuffle after the VIP passes. That was all good and fine, but I'm pretty sure that we're getting a judge call being done here. Yeah, it looks like the judge will shuffle the deck, and we'll get confirmation, but this is most likely going to be a 2 prize card penalty from Ryan for seeing an extra card. That's really unfortunate, especially when you're down a game in these sets. Every single prize matters, and you have such a great start with the triple VIP pass. Yeah, but it's kind of nullified by that prize penalty.
The judges have been really good about catching these little slip-ups here and there, some unfortunate cards being revealed, and we'll see if the trend continues, if they're going to, you know, maybe give a warning or something here. But
yeah, we'll see what happens.
It is, of course, up to their discretion, and the penalty is awarded. We're seeing it now on the screen chip.
Yep. 2 prizes less for Kevin to take this game. A huge blow. It really does make a big difference. Every single little action like that, you got to be real careful. These sleeves can get a little sticky, and I think Ryan was moving a little quickly there, and That's just unfortunate, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to sequence, get all your setup completed, make sure you have enough time to actually play out the third game if you do win game number 2.
Right.
And now the buffer you have in the early stages of the game where Cramorant sprinkling some damage but then getting knocked out in response, maybe an errant Comfy is bossed up and maybe taken down. Ryan no longer has that buffer and needs to immediately accelerate. We'll see if there's going to be some incredible flower selecting chains and maybe a call rest to get the the Mirage Gate up here on the next turn. Meanwhile, Kevin needs to still complete the setup, is able to discard that Gengar as well, using the Netherworld Gate to come through a little bit later on.
Does find another Hisuian Zoroark V. Can get that into the hands. Let's see if he has the Gape Jaw Bog this time in order to get that damage, or if he'll have to kind of maneuver that with the damage pump potentially. Ooh, a bunch of damage pump in this opening hand. That's actually pretty awkward.
Fortunately, with the Gengar, we can get the damage spread around with the damage pump.
Sure.
But now it's just about getting this all in play, trying to get the Zoroark V-Star and the prizes all ready to go. There is one double turbo in the prizes. So, hey, that's only one. That's within reason, Chip.
Sure.
Now we can actually, fish the other ones out of the deck respectively, hopefully.
So 7 cards off of Professor's Research. Pretty nice. Let's see if there is an option to get more basic Pokemon down. There's really nothing for Kevin to set up in this deck as far as like a Bidoof, Bibarel line, anything like that, which we have seen being played by some Hisuian Zoroark players. It's just really kind of straightforward. He's got Crobat and Lumineon, and Eldegoss is all draw outs eventually. For now, we'll just attach to the active, and we might be seeing a Void Return. Pretty solid attack here from the Hisuian Zoroark. Don't even need any energies attached at all in order to use it. And it deals 30 damage, and you may just send it to the bench for free, which is pretty solid.
Overall, very nice. A little bit of utility, a little bit of agility, right, with this deck. You can switch something up into the active, let it get some damage counters, maybe put onto it from the opponent's return attack, and then spread those counters around with more damage pumps. Ultra Ball going to discard the boss's orders, Inocharon's Care.
Could go for a Crobat to try and draw more cards here, potentially. He also does play one copy of Diancie, so could see that being grabbed. Princess's Curtain, its ability.
Yeah, that one's actually in the prizes, unfortunately. But that Princess's Curtain is nice, basically, essentially nullifying boss's orders, giving you much more time to complete your setup and protect those things like Oranguru and whatnot that might be vulnerable on the bench.
It's less worrisome to get it down in a matchup like this. It would be great to get down against a Mew VMAX deck or a Palkia deck, something that can pretty aggressively target a 2-prize Pokemon. It's pretty hard for Ryan to ever get to the point where he's knocking out a V Pokemon on the bench this coming turn. So it will just be the Oranguru grabbed, Primate Wisdom gets used, and Void Return sends this Gengar to the active.
Just a great Pokemon that you can just promote. If it goes to the discard pile, if it gets knocked out, you can just bring it right back, get more damage counters into your rotation as you prepare for that ticking curse. Now with Ryan, we've got the flower selecting, being very careful now. Giratina being offered alongside the Temple of Sinnoh.
Yeah, Temple seems like it could be good in this matchup, but well, he will choose to hang on to it, try to just slow down Kevin as much as possible. I guess it is a safe bet to assume that your opponent doesn't have a Gape Jaw Bog, because they likely would have put it down before benching the Oranguru, so maybe you can slow them down with the Tempo.
Gets offered a Psychic Energy. This is a little bit more important to keep in this matchup. There's 4 in the list, but you still need them to set up your Giratinas. Decides to send it to the Lost Zone anyway. That Ordinary Rod is just a little bit too important. Getting the Comfies back or maybe Cramorants or something.
So Ryan will only have 2 Psychic Energies left. He plays 4 copies, so he's got to be super, super protective of those energies, very mindful of when they come down.
And now with this being put into play on a Giratina V, Ultra Ball to find another Giratina V-Star perhaps. Needs to get this evolution, a little bit of extra HP to protect from the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, hunting it down. Like we saw in game number 1, Kevin Kenny had that boss's orders and was able to get the knockout before the Giratina V-Star was properly established.
And with this board being full, Ryan just chooses to ditch the Cramorants, not going to try and bench that back down and get a KO on the Gengar here, which I think it would get that knockout. I'm pretty sure the Gengar only has 120 hit points, so Spit Innocently would have been a way to get a prize this turn, but now Ryan is just going to use Primate Wisdom, and I don't think we're going to be seeing that happen. And yeah, just passes it back over to Kevin, hoping to pull off something next turn, but this is a massive opening.
Yeah, with Ryan, you want to buy yourself as much time as possible to get your Lost Zone filled up, get your setup complete, but with this double prize penalty as well, Kevin is more than happy to just attach, retreat, keep swinging in, doing whatever's necessary to get set up here.
Primate Wisdom
Finds
placing a
Luminion
card on top. So that Luminion will hit the discard pile alongside the Marnie from this Professor's Research.
And now with the research, of course, after the Primate Wisdom, you get your card right back.
Yes, so it's something that Kevin wanted to hold on to for the other end of this research. Really smart decision there. Does lose the Luminion, which is a little bit of a bummer, but we do see that Ordinary Rod in hand, so that's an option to put that key resource back into the deck at some point if you want it.
And we'll see how Kevin navigates this, right? You're looking again for your V-Stars, obviously. Maybe a way to get this Gengar. Is that just a pass?
I think it
Nothing
is.
good off of the research.
Okay, that is a really bad whiff from Kevin's side. That was a huge potential turn for him. We'll just pass it over to Ryan, who now, he's the one sitting in a position where he could have a really big turn. And
yeah, I love the Primate Wisdom
happen.
into the flower selecting.
Yes.
You say, I don't like this card, I don't need this. I can put it onto the deck to make sure it goes into the Lost Zone. Keep my other. We're up to 4 now. Still a long ways to go before we get to Mirage Gate.
Flower selecting number 2 of the turn. There is the Mirage Gate, but yeah, like you said, still a little ways away. And does not find a Colress's Experiment. That is a card that has really eluded Ryan. It feels like in this match so far, just not able to get that really important supporter card up and running too often.
I like this decision. There's a Mirage Gate already in the hand. Decides to keep the Capture Energy so we can get the discard for concealed cards.
2 Ordinary Rods in the hand. We see Capture Energy, Temple of Sinnoh, Quick Ball. I mean, there is just...
Yeah, the payoff cards are in the hand, but we need more resources to fill up the Lost Zone. The Colress MIA deep in the underground secret lab experimenting.
Yes, there is nothing happening here on Ryan's side. He could attach an energy to the Giratina and have it all the way powered up, but you can't even retreat the Comfy. So we'll see that Temple hit the field. Try to slow things down. Kevin can no longer retreat this Gengar. It does have 2 retreats, so that Temple now makes that energy just 1 single energy. Oh, and Ryan, I think, has accidentally played the Mirage Gate. There's only 5 cards in his Lost Zone.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, no. All right, that's just going to be a no biggie.
It depends on if he picked up the deck and looked at it or not. If he didn't see the deck, it's kind of a quick little catch there from Kevin and no problem, but if Ryan saw the deck, we could be in a situation where we see another penalty.
Oh, I was looking down towards the Gengar. After the Temple of Sinnoh hit, I was looking down towards the Double Turbo. I didn't see the Mirage Gate hit the top right corner.
Oh, and is the judge going to shuffle the deck again? Yeah, that makes me think that Ryan must have seen something there potentially. That is definitely a bummer, and he's already gotten a prize penalty once in this game for revealing an extra card unintentionally. An unintentional search of the deck carries the same penalty. Seeing cards that you're not supposed to does equal a 2 prize card penalty.
I mean, both of these players are trying to lock in their day 2 spot. 18 minutes left in the round. You've already taken a prize penalty. You're down a game. I can definitely see so many factors stacking against Ryan, and you're trying to find a way out of this corner. You try to go for Mirage Gate, and you realize that that is not available. Attach on the Capture Energy. Ryan making absolutely sure that this is legal.
Yeah, Capture Energy, the bench is full, and the Temple of Sinnoh is in play, so you don't search the deck with the Capture. Yeah, we're just making sure everything is all good there.
Yeah, I was maybe thinking that, can I attach this? Do I still have to shuffle?
Yeah, the Temple is shutting it down anyway, right? And that's what Kevin's pointing out. And yeah, the 4 red Pokeballs there indicating how many prize cards Kevin needs to take. Just 2 prizes. So if Kevin can piece together a boss's orders onto the Giratina V on the bench and then find a way to get just a little more damage in play, we could just see the game end on 1 single knockout.
A lot of work still needs to be done, though. Nohosu in V-Star in play. The Zoroark still MIA. Kevin has the Oranguru to see a little bit more.
He's got a decent amount of cards in hand. It's kind of hard to believe that there's nothing working for him here.
Yeah, he's holding that hand just a little bit out of frame. I'm trying to get eyes on it, Chip.
Yeah.
And finds the Eldegoss. Okay.
Happy Match, that ability allowing you to pick up a supporter card from your discard pile. Professor's Research being the grab. So we won't see Kevin win the game this turn, but he doesn't have to win the game this turn. He has plenty of turns here to get set up and try to just establish a situation.
True.
He never has to knock out a Giratina. He can just go knock out Comfey, knock out something else, and a Comfey, Greninja, a Oranguru, or a Giratina. It just doesn't matter. This is really, really tough for Ryan in this position. Kevin just needing to do so little.
Especially from game number 1, where everything was riding on that first Hisuian Zoroark V-Star to be the main attacker. Now that we have more double turbos in rotation, we have the V-Stars in the deck. Eldegoss comes through, we've got Professor's Research. As soon as that first Zoroark comes through, we do have that star power as well to just draw even more cards as well.
So Professor's Research discarding the hand, drawing 7. I'm pretty sure the Oranguru put a double turbo energy on top of the deck. Kevin waiting to see what is drawn into here before deciding where to put that down.
Yeah, just needs to find the rest of the puzzle. I did glimpse an Ultra Ball there as well, so we can get our evolution here.
Could grab the evolution. That, of course, can draw more cards, like you mentioned. We could even see an interesting situation where Kevin puts 2 double turbo energies on a Hisuian Zoroark, and they have no damage reduction being done, but it's 2 double turbos attached. So we'll see what happens here. That's what you'd have to do with the Temple of Sinnoh in play, because otherwise this Zoroark cannot attack as of now.
Yeah, Phantom Star. That was the ability I was trying to remember the name of. But Ultra Ball does indeed come through after finding that V-Star naturally.
This can grab the other V-Star out of the deck. We also could see this gets Crobat potentially. And is that the Luminion going back down?
Discarded again.
Luminion gets back into the deck and then sent back to the discard pile. Poor Luminion.
Yeah, the rest of the hand is just way too good.
And that's definitely a scary thing to be seeing if you're on Ryan's side of the table. Your opponent's hand is so good that they're losing a supporter and a Luminion. They are definitely planning to dump this hand with the Phantom Star and just keep on churning.
There's 2 Gengar in the list. One's now in the active. We still want to try to fish up that next one, get it discarded to just play into these damage pumps, right? No Gapejaw Bog as well. So as the Eldegoss has been benched, there's still not enough damage being spread around.
Yeah, this does make things pretty awkward for Kevin. And anytime I've played this deck, this has also been one of the problems that I have found with it, where you have all these Pokemon down, but you just cannot find your Gapejaw Bogs in the right order. And, I mean, Kevin has seen so many cards this game so far and just still no Stadium card. He does play the full 4 copies of it. Where are they?
And still figuring out how to sequence this turn. Here is Crobat V, even more card draw, drawing 5 cards now with the Dark Asset. Hasn't used Phantom Star yet. So much of the deck being drawn. Where are your damage pumps? This is another Pokemon that gets down to the bench with no Gapejaw Bog.
There's the Gapejaw finally, but Kevin has a full bench. He will still be able to get
Ticking
the KO.
Curse for 180.
Yeah, it was still enough to get the KO here on the poor little 70 HP Comfey.
I guess that's all that we really care about from this point, Chip, is, as you said, we don't have to jump through a lot of hoops with such a big buffer. Just take a single prize knockout, get another single prize knockout. Is there enough energy? Yeah, he bumped the Sinnoh.
Yes, yeah.
For a second there, but yeah, he bumped the Temple of Sinnoh, so Double Turbo is back online. We can indeed attack there. Radiant Greninja is promoted to the active, has the air balloon on it from way earlier in the game, so we can pivot off of this.
I don't even know if there's an energy card to use concealed cards with in the hand just yet. We have that Mirage Gate, which cannot be played. The Comfey is on the bench, so that is a way to get a card, at least one more card in the Lost Zone. But here's a good way to get to. Use that Luminion, fetch out the Chorus's Experiment. This will send 2 cards down, and Mirage Gate will finally be online for Ryan in this match.
And then, of course, it gets some damage on it from the Gapejaw Bog. Yeah, see, Ryan is the one taking up all the damage now with the Gapejaw Bog.
So 5 cards here. Tool Jammer, one of them. I think that seems like a pretty reasonable Discard, I guess it could be a decent way to try to withstand a hit against Zoark, but
Rock
I mean,
Sand.
Zoark just does so much damage. I think it's pretty hard to worry about that.
Yeah, the Rock Sand actually having prizes taken versus prizes needed to end the game means it's going to be a dead card.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that the prizing penalties have changed that. It actually used to work in the way whenever you got a prize penalty, you just took the prizes. But because of cards like Roxanne and back in the time when that ruling changed in, they actually had to change how it worked because you could, your opponent could get awarded prize penalties, take those prize cards, and then you just play in right away to put them to less cards in hand.
Ugh, terrible.
We are finally seeing the Mirage Gate, though.
Mirage Gate up and running. We've got energy coming out of the deck onto the Giratina V.
And when Mirage Gate does finally get up and running, it is just for 1 energy. This is just a game of things not going Ryan Harris's way at all.
It's better to get it out of the way now. You've already got 5 wins. Just take another shot at getting your day 2. Not a big deal. At least we're getting a decent idea of how this list can function and a nice showcase of Hisui and Zoark V-Star. Even though this list takes a lot of time to spin up and get online, it works at about the same pace as we can see as a Lost Box.
So Kevin needs to find a boss's orders here. If he can do that, he'll be able to bring up the Comfy and take the KO, dealing just enough damage. It doesn't look like he's used his V-Star power yet this game. That Luminion did go down, so that would have been an easy way to close things out. But we'll see if he's able to find the boss and just finish up this game. I think he did discard a boss last turn as well, so there might, I think, only be 1 left in the deck.
Yeah, Evolution Incense going to thin a little bit more. Kevin gets a way to look at the remainder of the deck, maybe start calculating these odds. Is the Phantom Star going to be enough? Ultra Ball going to thin down a little bit more.
Yeah, I think just trying to get every last piece out of the deck that is not boss's orders. Everything that you don't want to draw into, every way that you can find to try to close out the game this turn. You don't have to win this turn. Once again, we've said it. Kevin, has. I mean, I guess you do need to win in the next 2 turns because otherwise Ryan is threatening Star Requiem this coming turn into the 280 damage, just big 1-hit knockout.
So Ultra Ball into a whiff, into the Quick Ball, just thinning the hand down. Finds another Crobat V. That's right, I forgot there was actually 2 of them in this list.
And that's why we saw so many of those ball cards being played, the Quick Balls and the Ultra Balls, the Evolution Incense getting nothing just because Kevin wanted to thin this hand size down as much as absolutely possible.
So that is the Dark Asset coming through. Even an energy attachment to fully empty the hand, drawing 6 now.
Kevin can see 6 cards off Dark Asset. He's also got the Phantom Star V-Star power as well, only needing boss's orders to close out this game. I don't see it here in this hand. You got to think he would have slammed it pretty quickly.
Damage pump to move the counters around from the Gapejaw Bog. We actually have 24? No, 6, almost. We need a little bit more. That's the token on the Rangaroo, not a damage counter.
Yes, yeah, need a little bit more in order to move. And there's actually no way for Kevin to put more damage counters into play this turn. His bench is full, so you can't be benching anything. There's no scoop up nets or anything like that, and everything has 1 damage counter on it, so damage pump wouldn't do you any good.
Yep, and so Phantom Star to draw 7 more.
Oh, and it's the whole deck. So as long as Kevin has the boss's orders, can bring up a Comfy and take it out. Only needing to take 2 prizes to
Only
win
needing to draw
the game.
through the entire deck to win the game. Expertly thinning down, right, with the Dark Asset as well to guarantee that you draw all the way through there. Kevin Kenny taking that 2-0. A lot of things working in his favor in that second game, but when you've made it this far to get your winning in, I could very easily see that being a pretty easy matchup, especially what we saw from the first game.
It was definitely a rough showing from Ryan. Things just really not going his way. In addition to a poor setup, a couple of mistakes that led to penalties. These are things that happen. It's part of playing Pokemon. All it is about recovering. How do you bounce back from a loss? How do you bounce back from those mistakes? You still are in a decent spot to make day 2. You only need to win 1 more game. So Ryan, you know, hopefully can make it happen in these last couple of rounds. Definitely a tough showing there, but Kevin's deck really firing on all cylinders, and you can see why people love the power and the straightforward consistency of Hisuian Zoroark V-Star.
Yeah, we got both sides of the coin, I think, Chip. We've got the consistency of the setup, the ability to kind of hang on versus Giratina, but just a shade of that awkwardness where it becomes a little bit more difficult later, especially later on in the game, to find the bogs to get the damage in play. I mean, that Gengar was just kind of sitting there not doing anything. All of your additional Pokemon V are just there for just one-off effects that you need. And if you have to use them early to just complete the rest of your setup rather than using them on top of the Gapejaw Bog, can be quite awkward.
Absolutely. So that is a great showing there from the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. Hope everyone enjoyed getting to watch that one in action. And with that win, Kevin has now guaranteed a spot in day number 2. 6-0-1, all you need to get there. And 2 more rounds remaining. I'm sure he's going to be playing them out and definitely trying to get as